This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Give them a call, 727-9900. News is also brought to you by Desert View Hospital. You can count on us.
Welcome to News 25 here on KPVM TV and Ace Country Radio. Today is Wednesday, December 21st. I'm Deanna O'Donnell. At the final Board of County Commissioners meeting of the year, the board revealed their choice for the appointment of the prompt Justice of the Peace to replace the seat vacated by late Kent Jasperson. The winner is former Clark County Councilwoman and Assemblywoman Michelle Fiore, who will serve Jasperson's remaining 2-year term following his August death from cancer. Fiore says she plans to go to school to get a law degree while she's on the bench here in Pahrump. Currently, no law degree is required to serve as Justice of the Peace. The commissioner said that they added up the points on the 20 candidates and revealed the top 3. Michelle Fiore got the most votes with 116, Michael Foley 109, and Bill Carnes 102. The board asked that the winner, Fiore, be trained by Foley and he stay on as pro tem. Fiore has no law experience and admitted that she moved to Pahrump last month with the help of former Assemblyman Ed Goodhart. Michelle Fiore and Commissioner Donna Cox have been friends for many years. Commissioner Carboni said that he would prefer to keep the current acting judge, Michael Foley, in place instead of training a new person to do the job. Commissioner Blundo, who originally put in his application, withdrew it prior to the agenda item.
I believe that Michael Foley is already on the job. So, I look at that and I say, that's great. He has the experience. I think Michelle's got a lot of guts to move forward, but I'm looking at somebody who has the experience.
I'm going to make a motion that we take the list as is and select Michelle Fiore because she had the majority of the votes.
Commissioner Jabbour asked applicant Fiore why she added her negative history in the backup for this position. Fiore had made several racist comments about black people during the time that she was pro tem mayor in Clark County and was asked to step down from that position. In 2021, she and a female former council member had a physical altercation.
I appreciate the transparency, but at the same time, I'd like to say that in reading through the backup, the findings were, quote, almost quote unquote, is this most likely happened than not.
But just so you understand, that's my character. So I'm as transparent will ever come. So did something happen? Yes. If you'd like to ask me what, I'll be more than glad to tell you. What I will tell you is that it was unsubstantiated, all of the claims against the city and myself. This is an individual that had started a physical altercation. And I aggressively ended it and brought her to the mayor's office.
So how do you feel about guns in the courtroom?
I believe an armed society is a polite society. So I think firearms should be anywhere a person is. I think gun-free zones are just making us sitting ducks. And if I'm sitting on that bench and I have my firearm, because I have my firearm with me today, and someone's stupid enough to pull theirs, I'll probably wind up, if we get in a gun battle, I'll probably win. So I'm cool with you bringing a gun in the courtroom. I support all of you as commissioners to wear your guns in my courtroom, and I also support all the citizens to wear their guns in their courtroom. Like I said, if you're silly enough to challenge me, you're just plain silly.
At no time was the request to carry a firearm into any courtroom. It was to carry our concealed firearm into our chambers, into any of the county buildings, into the county complexes.
How would you handle a domestic violence situation if a defendant shoots the victim in your courtroom?
Is this domestic violent individual convicted?
They wouldn't be, would they?
Well, I don't know. I mean, if there's
presumed innocent walking in.
Are they, or do they have a record? I just will not take 3 minutes. I just want to thank you so much from the bottom of my heart and promise you that I will not disappoint you. And We have a lot to do, and I am looking so forward to doing it with all of you. So thank you so much for your vote of confidence.
Just remember, we have a big hook.
I know. Trust me, I know. Story of my life.
And you're going to love working with Mr. Foley.
Oh, I know I am. I know I am. I
I'm
know.
excited about that.
I already love him. Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Well, 2 animals are deceased and one saved as a result of a structure fire that destroyed an RV today on Pahrumps north side.
We were dispatched a report of a structure fire. While we were responding, we were notified that the structure was actually a fifth-wheel trailer. We were notified that there was closely placed exposures, including vehicles and the trees along the south side. As crews arrived on location, found a well-involved travel trailer as described. We determined that there was no life safety issues as the single occupant was removed and was placed further down the street. A quick assessment revealed that that patient had sustained burns and was transported to our local hospital. Crews quickly controlled the fire with no extension, and there was no extension to any of the exposures. We're currently looking for a possibility of 2 pets that were deceased in the fire, including a dog and a bird. We're investigating it. We're looking at several potential ignition sources, but at this time it is not determined.
And researchers are looking at bighorn sheep in Death Valley National Park to study links between movement, genetics, and disease. Diseases pose one of the largest threats to the survival of the desert bighorn sheep. Bighorn sheep were exposed to new diseases when domestic sheep and goats were brought into the West. Some diseases are common and relatively minor in domestic sheep and goats, yet can be deadly for bighorn sheep. While most desert bighorn sheep spend their lifetimes with a single mountain range, some ewes and rams journey between mountain ranges. These wanderers create important genetic diversity, but they can also spread disease between herds. While some herds interact with many wandering sheep, other herds are more isolated. In November and early December, park visitors may have seen bighorn sheep hanging from a helicopter. The helicopter captured and transported 60 sheep to level ground for biologists to be able to safely do their work. Researchers collected genetic, disease, immune, and microbiome samples from each bighorn sheep. They also fitted each sheep with a GPS tracking collar. These GPS collars will help produce the most accurate picture of the location, movement, and size of the desert bighorn herds in Death Valley to date. They will also provide real-time monitoring of how bighorn sheep respond to challenges like disease, human activities, and climate change. News 25 will return in just a minute for more from the Board of County Commissioners.
You're watching News 25, the most recognized and farthest reaching local news in Nye County. News 25, local news you can count on. This segment of the news is brought to you by John Air. For all your heating and air conditioning needs, call 775-751-2372.
Welcome back to News 25. Well, the U.S. Treasury has allocated funds for Nye County in the amount of $12 million. This item was discussed recently in front of the Nye County Board of County Commissioners.
In September of this year, the U.S. Treasury launched a Local Assistance and Tribal Consistency Fund for eligible revenue-sharing counties. Nye County met the criteria.
Nye County has a proportionate amount of Bureau of Land managed lands, which means
largest in the state.
Correct. Which also means that we participate in PILT, or payment in lieu of taxes. So instead of us getting property tax revenue, we get these PILT revenues because these are federally managed lands. There's also been some inconsistent funding and prorated reductions that really make it difficult for counties to plan for these types of expenditures because the PILT amounts, they do change for us. And there are some states within the United States that participate in the Refuge Revenue Sharing Program. I wasn't able to find information regarding that. And then there was a whole few pages about how the Treasury allocated it. And there were several different factors that went into play. So poverty rates, median household income, the unemployment rates for Nye County, our land values, as well as other economic indicators, and that includes childhood poverty and overall population. So they really took a big mix and then decided in the end Nye County was eligible for the full amount of funds. The maximum amount of LATCF funding was $12 million. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the first time I've ever seen in the year I've been here, Nye County got the same exact amount of grant funds as Clark County. So, and it is based a lot on those economic indicators as well as our BLM lands. So we expect the first tranche of $6 million to come in January, just in a few weeks. And then in a year from now, we'll expect another $6 million. Some of the examples that were provided in the backup that fulfill a government purpose I've listed here. And those include health services, public safety services, capital expenditures, community development, road improvements, technology infrastructure investments, utility, water, and sewer system upgrades, affordable housing, government operations. As we can see, these are topics that have been under discussion for the entire last year. One thing I did want to mention, it's really small at the bottom, it's Build America, Buy America Act. That has really become more of a mainstay with grant funding. What that means is that right now, this was set up to adhere to Build America, Buy America, meaning everything that we do, everything that we purchase has to be American made. The next step would really be to review funding requests and then prioritize those projects. So it is going to take a couple of meetings for us. And then finally, having commissioner approval for some of those projects and then distribute the funding as necessary.
Well, if you attended the Route 91 Harvest Festival in 2017 in Las Vegas, which was the site of a tragic shooting, then the FBI is trying to return your belongings left behind.
And we just wanted to make it user-friendly for anyone who needed to come and find their property.
Lance Turner is talking about the FBI's determined efforts in returning personal property to victims who fled the Route 91 Harvest Music Festival on 1 October 2017. The concert site became one of the largest crime scenes in United States history. People frantically escaped the carnage and left behind thousands of cell phones, purses, wallets, boots and hats, and more.
When you arrive at the Family Assistance Center, you'll check in with the front desk.
Within hours of the 1 October tragedy, Clark County and other agencies set up the Family Assistance Center at the Las Vegas Convention Center. A temporary warehouse was opened as part of the FBI Victim Services Division's efforts to return personal property recovered at the massive site to victims. Clark County helped the FBI publicize the massive effort. Victims came to the center showing pictures and describing their missing property to law enforcement specialists. The FBI devised detailed venue grid-style maps to pinpoint locations where victims may have lost their belongings.
These grids that reflected where everyone was. Well, that's all well and good if you're sitting, I know exactly where I'm sitting here and I'm sitting here, but where did you run when it happened? Because you could have run and lost your cowboy hat or lost one of your boots. So there was someone to greet everyone when they walked into the Family Assistance Center.
One successful return at the Family Assistance Center involved a teenager's lucky article of clothing to a grateful mom.
She's never worn the shirt since, but she will never get rid of it either. It just holds a lot of sentiment, I guess. There's a lot of emotion behind that piece of clothing. And that's part of why it just meant so much to me to be able to get it back for her.
Sherry Wolf attended the Route 91 Harvest event with her family, including 16-year-old daughter Renee, who was sporting a cumbersome knee brace due to a soccer injury.
When we made our escape from the venue, that wasn't something that was on any of our minds to grab.
When the shooting started, the family safely fled the festival and returned home to California, but without Renee's favorite flannel shirt. A couple weeks later, Sherry Wolf returned to Las Vegas and arrived at the convention center on their last day of operation.
I saw her walk out of the doors holding it in her hands, and I lost it. I was sobbing uncontrollably and kind of am a little bit embarrassed, like this is just a piece of clothing, but it was amazing the impact it had on me just to get that back.
After the convention center operation closed, the FBI moved the found items to a storage facility in Texas and continued an online operation for years, trying to reunite people with their precious property.
We found through our headquarters victim specialist unit the property or the place down in Texas where we could house house all of this. Again, it's taken years and years, which is fine. You know, we're going to see it through to the end. I understand some people don't want, you know, something that happened at that site. They don't want the memory. They don't want to experience that. So we're going to take care of that for them. We're going to dispose of the property.
More news on the other side of this break.
You're watching News 25, brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500. Also brought to you by Silver State Health. Visit silverstatehealth.org or call 702-471-0420 for an appointment. News 25, local news you can count on.
Well, processed foods are convenient for a fast meal, but research continues to show how they can negatively impact our health. Recently, a study revealed ultra-processed foods might increase colorectal cancer risk for some people.
Men actually have a higher risk when they have a diet pattern that includes a lot of ultra-processed foods.
The study found men who ate the most ultra-processed foods had a 29% higher risk of developing colorectal cancer when compared to men who ate the least. Cleveland Clinic registered dietitian Amanda Bode says the study did not find the same association in women, and it's unclear why. She says further research is needed to understand why eating a lot of ultra-processed foods increased colorectal cancer risk in men. Bode says one theory is additives and preservatives in highly processed foods may impact gut health. She stresses limiting foods like processed meats, instant soups, packaged snacks, and candy, and instead eating more whole grains, fruits, vegetables, and lean proteins.
We're seeing a lot more studies coming out that show that eating healthy is important to reduce your risk of colorectal cancer, and that's especially true if you have that in your family.
Well, she suggests trying simple diet changes first, like choosing a baked potato instead of fries and replacing sugary yogurts with Greek yogurt and fruit. Pat Lemming introduces us to a special dog that is available for adoption right now.
Today's Save a Pet segment is made possible by Realty Executives in Action. Put the team at Realty Executives in action for you.
Hi, this is Pat with Never Forgotten Animal Society. We're here at our new location at 3091 North David Street just off of Bella Vista in the northern part of town. This is Deer, and Deer is a tricolor Tibetan Terrier is what we think he is. He is a long-haired dog with a very, very long snout, and he is a working dog. He has to have something to do, and he has to be in an active household in order to be able to get that energy out. So if you're interested in meeting Deer, he is here at 3091 North David off of Bella Vista in the north part of town at Never Forgotten Animal Society, and we are here Monday through Saturday from 10 until 5, and he is available for adoption. His adoption fee is $350, as with all of our puppies, and that includes his his neuter, his microchip, all of his vaccinations, and his rabies certificate. And he has just been neutered, so he's ready to go on home, and his name is Deer. Our operating hours are Monday through Saturday from 10 until 5 every day, with the exception of this Christmas Eve. We will be closing at 2 o'clock. So come on out, no appointment necessary. We do ask that you be patient with us. We just moved, and we're not done moving in yet, so you're welcome to come on over, but just please be patient with us as all the improvements are not quite done yet. Our phone number is 775-537-8674. Again, no appointment necessary, so come on out and meet Deer. We really look forward to it.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
Taking a look outside on that weather cam, some clouds in the sky. John's going to tell us what's in store with your weather right after this.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada, The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. It's John Kohler from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studios and worldwide on the Local B for Broadcast TV app. That's Local B TV. Check it out at your app store. It's a dinger. It's a good one to have on your phone. Hey, check this out. Weather triplets in Fernley, Fallon, and Carson City. 48 degrees. Very nice. Tonopah, 38. And that's the Cool Spot Award winner. Goldfield saw 48, Beatty 58, and 64 in Amargosa is a hot spot. Ring Ding Ding Award winner. Vegas close behind at 59. And out in Death Valley, 67, super pleasant. Great time to visit for Christmas. Why not? And here in the Paradise of Pahrump, let's take a look. 52 degrees. That's our current temperature. 59 just a little bit earlier. Again, I think we're a solid number 2. So there you go. Humidity, not really a factor at 31% this morning when the sun rose at 6:51. But as it sets this evening, set this evening at 4:32, we see 55% humidity. Quite a bit of moisture in the air. I'm surprised we don't see more clouds up in the sky as we head for our low of 34, but maybe they're coming. Let's take a look. Yes, look at this clouds robustly throughout the week. Winds pretty much under 10 miles per hour, 5 miles per hour kind of averaging. Look at those temperatures rocketing up from 59 degrees. We're going to see 66 degrees on Christmas Day, Sunday, Boxer Day. Oh, a great Canadian holiday, 66 degrees. Nice weather. Actually, it looks like Wednesday we might see a little bit of sprinkling on the windshields. We'll keep an eye on that weather system as it develops. Right now, back to the desk. Here's Deanna.
All right. Well, tomorrow at 11 a.m., the Pahrump Senior Center is going to have a sit-down Christmas dinner. They are inviting the community to come on by. They're going to do an 11 o'clock and a 1 o'clock sitting, and that is at 1370 West Basin Avenue. Come on down for that Christmas dinner at the Pahrump Senior Center. To find out more, you can give them a call, 775-727-5008. Well, that's going to wrap up this edition of News 25. I'm Deanna O'Donnell. From all of us up here on the Hill, have a great night.